A very good morning to respected principal, teachers, and my dear friends. I am Tanishka from class 9A, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar School of Specialized Excellence. Today I am here to present a speech on all acts from 1773 to 1947. In June 1773, the first act passed by the British Parliament to control and regulate the affairs of the East India Company in India. The aim of the Regulating Act of 1773 was an act of the Parliament of Great Britain intended to overhaul the management of the East India Company's rule in India. It marked the first step towards parliamentary control over the company and centralized administration in India. Then after some years, Pitt's India Act of 1784 was passed to remove the effects of the Regulating Act of 1773. It differentiated the commercial and political affairs of the country. Thus, it established a system of double government in India by Crown in Great Britain and the British East India Company. The act was passed during the tenure of William Pitt the Younger. The East India Company Act 1813, also known as the Charter Act 1830, was an act of the Parliament of the United Kingdom which renewed the charter issued to the British East India Company and continued the company's run in India. The Charter Act of 1833 was passed in the British Parliament which renewed the East India Company's charter for another 20 years. This was also called the Government of India Act 1853 was passed in the British Parliament to renew the East India Company's charter. Unlike the previous Charter Acts of 1793, 1830 and 1833 which renewed the charter for 20 years, this act did not mention the time period for which the company charter was being renewed. The Charter Act 1853 is important because it marked the beginning of the parliament system in India. The Government of India Act of 1858 was an act of the British Parliament that transferred the government and territories of the East India Company to the British Crown. The company's rule over British territories in India came to an end and it was passed directly to the British government. The Indian Council Act 1861 was introduced by Lord Cannon. The main objective of this act was to create a council which is institutionalized and includes Indians. The Indian Council Act 1892 was an act of the British Parliament that increased the size of the legislative councils in India. The members were also given the right to ask questions on the floor. It was the first step towards a representative form of government in modern India. Indian Council Act of 1990 is also known as Moderate Minto Reform. It was instituted to replace the Moderate Congress and to introduce separate electorates on the basis of religion. The Government of India Act of 1990 made a provision for classification of the central and provincial subjects. The Act gives the income tax as a source of revenue to the central government. The Government of India Act 1935 was an act adopted from the Parliament of the United Kingdom. It originally received royal assent in August 1935. It was the longest act of Parliament ever enacted under Greater London Authority. Finally, after 300 years in India, the British finally left. 1947 Indian Independence Act is an act of the Parliament of the United Kingdom that partitioned British India into two new independent dominions of India and Pakistan.